This is the Joyous Podcast, which can be found on joyouspodcast.com. And today's message was from guest speaker Kyle Cease and was recorded on November 26, 2017. And it's titled Evolving Out Loud, where comedy and transformation meet. And today we welcome for the very first time Amy Steinberg from the Universal Spirit Center in San Diego, and who shared her spirit, talent, and wonderful voice with us all. You can come visit us at our shiny new website at seasidecenter.org, and you can join us in Encinitas, California sometime, where we always have great music, a spirited message, and a joyful, loving, vibrant community that await you.
Good morning, Seaside. How are we feeling today? Isn't it a joyous day? Hope everybody's still fat and sassy from Thanksgiving. I know I am. I think I have some turkey still here. Anyway, it is my honor, as it is every Sunday, to introduce our wonderful guest artist. Today we have a brand new artist. She's never been here before. She's making her debut here at Seaside. We're so grateful. The first service was awesome, so we hope it's even better for all of you this morning. She is actually brand new to California, transplant from Charlotte, and so she's here, and she and I actually share a similar job. She is the artistic director at Universal Spiritual Center in Hillcrest. So we're honored that she has taken a Sunday off from there to join us here this morning, and so we're so grateful. And we're also getting to share in January. We are both going to be performing for the Centers for Spiritual Living convention in Irvine. So we're really, really excited about that. And let's go. Let's have a great time. Give it up for Amy Steinberg, everybody.
Isn't she just beautiful? Oh my gosh. Seaside, hi, good morning. I'm so happy to be here with you and get to see Kyle and this band. So this song here is what taught me that, or I learned through these teachings and these centers and all of you people, that life is not happening to me. Life is happening through me, as me, and for me. So here we go. Give me that. Your band's amazing, by the way. I've been in bondage. I've been held back. I've been imprisoned by thoughts of fear and lack. I've had anger, oh yeah, and I've had guilt. I'm Jewish, it's my birthright. These are the bricks on which my life's been built. Pour me a drink. But I'm free to turn it around. That's right. Yes, I'm free to turn it around. It's true. We are all free. Turn it around. Look up instead of looking down. I get so tired of looking down. It's exhausting being a depressed mess. But see, I've been attracted, it's true, to negative thought, right? And I get so distracted. Shiny thing. I get so distraught. I know the drama, but I am responsible. Only me for my own life. I cannot blame you anymore. It's the good news and the bad news, really. I gotta lift my chin up and look to the light. So good, isn't he? He just feels it. Give it up for Bob, y'all. All right. Let's bring it in. Yes, I'm free. Turn it around. Any day, any moment right now. Yes, I'm free. Gonna turn it around. We are all free. We're all free to turn it around. I said no more looking down. All perception and perspective and choice. I said no more looking down. Because I turned it, I'm turning it. We turn it every moment. We have a choice. I'm turning it. I turn it around. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Seaside.
Are you guys fired up after that? Wow. Thank you, Amy. That was amazing. I'm so pumped. All right. So now I get the wonderful pleasure of introducing our guest speaker today. So not only is he a New York Times bestselling author, not only was he on Comedy Central, the Comedy Network. Did I say that right? Comedy? Yes. But what is so amazing about him, what I'm inspired by, and after hearing first service, I am telling you, you guys are going to be so uplifted, is he is here to take all of his 25 years of performing on stage to add a little humor to it and to help us get to that place where we can get rid of all of our old stories and we can expand and grow and become the people that we want to be. Sound like a plan? Yeah. All right. So with no further ado, I would like to welcome Kyle Cease.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. What? Wow. What do you mean? Me? It's just a mirror. It's just a mirror. Wow. Thank you for that one cheer. That is actually, it was sweet, but also sadder than silent. Like, if it just stayed silent, Like that one chair made silence so much more obvious. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when you open your wallet, if there's $1, it's sadder than nothing. You know what I mean? Or if you see someone with a barbell with the weights and it's a 2.5-pound ring, it's a teeny little ring. Just do the bar, dude. If you're going to do that, just do the bar. Because you put those rings on. We know you took time to put those on. And it's adding 2 pounds. It's not that great. I want to start off, I don't know why I said start off really, because I started when I was born. I probably started before that. So the stage just makes me 2 feet higher. If I think I'm starting, then I'll be an ego, right? Because I'll be like, here we go now, over here. It was nothing until now. So that's not true at all. I started a while I don't even know if I started. How weird is that? Did you start ever? Did you ever start? Because then you were picture an ending. You're picturing that this will end. And time's not real, so this show goes till next Thursday. So, can you believe that? Yeah. That's not true, but if that were true, it would be. So, what? I guess the first thing, I'm filing through because I can feel the level of shallowness to God. Like, okay, that was shallow. No, that's not. Okay, God says this one. Okay, this is God. I can feel it because it's here. Like when it's here, you're saying something, it's usually fear. But if you keep going down, you'll feel, God wanted me to tell you that. What a weird, bumbling thing. But I can't judge it because God said it. So, and you can't either. That's your resistance. So if I say anything you don't like, remember that's your resistance to it. What I say is perfect. We know that because of the opening. But before me, all these amazing people told you, dear God, please let what comes through Kyle be amazing. That is the most amazing way to start my job. Do you know how cool of an opening that is? To have people clenching their fists, hoping that it's good, and just saying thank you to God for my talk? Could you imagine if you had that at your job? You're like a plumber and you're about to go in there and they're like, dear God, please let these pipes be copper and full of water. And you're just like, oh, I'm going to kill it. I'm going to do really well. But it does raise the expectations a little bit. So pretend none of that happened. I need your expectations to be back to traffic level. Like when you're thinking of traffic, then when I show up, it's a raise of the bar. So I said that spontaneously at the first show and it did way better. People that were there know that, but now it's the second, so it wasn't inspired. It was repeating. My mind was trying to do a you had to be there joke versus just saying what I was feeling. So, man, I'm a mirror. Thank you so much for saying that to me right now in the middle of my talk. So here's the thing. I realized we haven't really started anything, which isn't a thing. So it's a moot point, really. Wow. Don't tell the rest of the people from the first show, but this is a way cooler crowd. I like them way more, except for you, because you're at this one. So, there will be content coming eventually. This is palate cleansing stuff right now. This is like, before you say something, that's what all of that was. A 20-minute, So, I'm really honored to be with you, and I'm feeling it's kind of fun to connected to you like that too, to just actually take a second and do that. I feel we're having a conversation, even if we're not all saying words. Like even if I say something and you react, I want you to know I'm playing off of that. I actually feel that. I guarantee you more jokes came than were planned or what I was thinking of doing. Or at least than the first show even, because you guys are so giving it to me right now, and you're getting more back. You're not asking me to say more, you're just being the embodiment of joy, which totally is permission, unconsciously, for me to keep going. Which is interesting because of how much we tell people to do something versus just live it ourselves and totally give them permission by being it. And So I really actually don't know what I'm going to say. Sometimes things come through that I've said before, but always at every talk that I do, I never know what I'm going to say, because if I did, I really am aware that you would be hearing something that I prepared for you. And if I prepared something for you before this talk and tried to get it to you a certain way, then I'd be trying to get something from you. That'd be the only reason that I would try to get it perfect and think that there's a right or wrong way to do anything, right? How do you even measure right or wrong? Did I get something for it? People go, how do I do this the right way? What do you mean? How can you do it a wrong way? That you didn't get a full crowd, or that you didn't make money for it, or that you didn't sell something? So if I'm in a place of trying to sell something to you, then it's a totally different exchange, and you don't actually know who I am. And I can start off by telling you that I'm all over the place emotionally today, and I love that. That's a big deal to start off with, I love that, because most people don't love their darkness. And the only thing that makes it dark is your judgment of it. And the amount of light that you emit is based literally solely on how much of your darkness you love. So if you take a feeling that you have right now, think of even the negative ones. I'm scared, I'm out of it, I don't know what's going to happen, I don't know how to do this, and you love that. Think of how immediately okay it is for it to be there, and how sometimes it might even dissolve. But don't do it so it dissolves, because then you're trying to get something and you're saying that thing is bigger than me. But if you just start off by saying what you feel, we don't say what we feel anymore. We say what we're thinking. And usually our thoughts are a reaction to what we're feeling. They're fixing our judgment of what we're feeling. Like you're feeling off, and then your thoughts come in with a solution so that you don't have to feel off anymore, versus I'm just going to fall in love with being off right now. Maybe something bigger can finally get in and take care of that for you if you aren't trying to make a goal of feeling better over here. People say all the time, I gotta get in the moment more. You just made it in the future by saying that. Right? I gotta love myself more. Now it's a goal that your ego thinks it's going to accomplish. And by the way, if it accomplishes it, your ego will still be in the future going, what's next, what's next, what's next? Because the part of you that said, I'm going to get that, will never die if you keep achieving the things that it thinks it needs to get to be happy. So it'll just get it and go, what's next? How many times have you thought, when something happens, I'll be happy? And then right when you got it, you went, what's next? Or, if this is the source of my happiness, what if this thing leaves me? This is the source of my happiness, so now I'm codependent on it because I said, when this thing happens, I'll be happy. Right? So right when I got it, you're my source of happiness person I'm on a date with. Have you ever been on a date with someone who really wants to be with you? Who you can feel the burden of their thinking, if you leave me, we're in deep crap? Have you ever felt that? Can I even say deep? Okay. So if you go on a date with someone and they want to be with you, you can feel the pressure. You can feel them saying, you complete me, meaning I'm incomplete without you. You immediately go from having fun to feeling a burden. You become the source of their sail versus their soul. Oh, I didn't know that was those words are so close. Cool. So, be the source of their soul, not their sail. I'm making up quotes right here. Sail and soul are so close. So, who here, especially on Thanksgiving weekend after being with your family, who here experienced any type of triggering from anyone in the last week? Who was triggered by someone? Awesome. That's why you're all here right now. That's why Thanksgiving weekend's usually packed, because we all saw our parents. And we're like, okay, fine, where's God? Okay. So, and one of the amazing things about being triggered is a lot of us don't realize that a trigger is for us. It's not for them. Like, we often think, hey, just so you know, you're triggering me. So if you could not do the thing that is totally normal for you, but for some reason reminds me of my childhood, I need you to become something different, versus getting that there's an opportunity here to find a new level of love inside of yourself. Realize if you're triggered, that is huge news. That means your entire life you have spent with a pocket inside of you that you did not love. What would life be like if you loved that pocket? So when you're triggered, that means we just kicked dirt in the air, and it feels terrible because it's just a bunch of dirt, right? And in that place of darkness and scary, immediately your ego gets so excited because it wants to fix it versus just be with it. Because when it's kicked up, when that parent or that relative kicks that up, sit with it. You just dislodged from an old belief system. Don't try to get back into it because you're just this moment, right? So it's a huge gift when our family members do that, when they trigger this thing in us, when they bring this thing up. I appreciate Thanksgiving this year. They had me 2 years ago on Thanksgiving, and I spoke here on Thanksgiving weekend. I think it was just because they wanted to have a vacation. So I always get these holiday slots. It's the no one wants to see me tour. It's really exciting. Every time they invite me, they're like, yeah, we're not going to be there, but have a good set. All right. And they're like in Cancun surfing. All right. But Thanksgiving means something different to me. In fact, it's the first time I think I'm actually thankful, and it's not as a job. Thankful is what you are when you actually do the work. You will discover that it's not something that you have or that you do. Oh, I have gratitude for this person. As you do the inner work and you clear out all these illusions, you will discover that all you are is gratitude. Through meditation, through being, through just relaxing, that's all you are, is just gratitude. And for me, it's a very different year because 2 years ago I spoke here, and since then, this year, my mom passed away. And she passed away May 31st. My entire last 20 years, my mom wanted to be a grandma. That was her big thing. It didn't matter what I accomplished in stand-up. It didn't matter. I got this late-night show. My mom wanted to be a grandma. And she died 6 weeks before her granddaughter was born. And my beautiful baby girl, Vivian, is just perfect. And she's everything. She's so far beyond what I know my mom pictured. She's just love, and she smiles at me, and she's just perfect. And I've had to actually live something that I've taught for many years, which is this: nobody's ever broken your heart, but they broke your expectations. My mom broke my expectations. The situation broke my expectations. I expected that I was going to get to enjoy this perfect daughter on Thanksgiving with my mom. And she died. And she broke my expectations. And I spent a lot of the summer crying and not fighting it and not running from it and not numbing it and not taking some distracting thing or drug or trying to numb it through social media. Sometimes I did and didn't know it. Sometimes we have these little addictions that are small. But I just said, I feel like crying, and looked right at it and cried and cried and cried. And I realized part of me that's leaving is the part of me that also wanted my mom's approval is dying. Like there's a story in me that left with mom. And I realized my mom didn't break my heart. She broke my expectations. And by breaking my expectations, she got me closer to my heart. It's not the route that my ego wanted to go. I had this whole strategy on how I was going to get into my heart, but the ego got its butt kicked this summer, and it felt the removal of all of those goals, and just the revelation that all of this, at least in the physical body, is completely temporary, and that all the crap that we're mad about or stressed about is temporary. It's temporary, and what you are is eternal. And it sounds like a cliche, and most of us don't live there. And it's available to live there. People say all the time, when they're in a very stressed out situation, deep down I know everything's going to be okay. Whenever you're broke, deep down I know everything's going to be okay, but I'm going to ignore what I just said, and I'm going to complain about it a ton. Right? Deep down I know that person treats me like crap at work, but I'd rather be mad about it. And deep down is a place that is a gorgeous 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-story home that is totally vacant in the woods. And we choose to live in a studio apartment with 7.3 billion people. 0.2 billion are in their own deep downs. Is this flicking thing? It's part of the show, just so you know. Sometimes it'll be me. You won't know if it's me or the thing. So, oh yeah? Oh. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Good. I'm glad you see that there's a battery pack. Otherwise, it looks like this guy comes and checks my butt in the middle of... Which is a weird show. All right, thank you so much. Why do I want to go to Hawaii? So... So deep down is a place that we refer to mentally when we're stressed. And what if instead we actually decided that this audience is one of the first audiences that is, I don't even like calling you audience, grandparents. My daughter, I don't know what to call you. So, but what if we become the first group that actually chooses to transcend our old stuff and go move and live into a place called deep down, where we don't say, deep down, I know there's no problems. We just sit and actually embody, there's no problem. What if that actually is a thing? Now, what if, I don't mean it in a thing where we denial say, the universe supports me, and then we totally get broker and feel, I don't know what's wrong. Why are all my cats running around? Like we get... I'm not talking about denial, say universe all day. Because we don't understand that the intuitive things that we feel are also a sign. We say all the time, I'm waiting to do this thing, but I'm looking for a sign. And we think the only sign is outside. And we don't understand there's a calling showing up all day. The one that says, go write the book, quit the job, ask the person out, fly to Italy right now. I don't know why. That's a sign. It'll tell you why when you get there. You'll learn all of that when you get there. But that's also a sign. But we ignore that those feelings are a sign, and we think it's all outside of us. And then we actually use signs as an excuse to justify why we ignore our calling and say the universe and God doesn't want us to do that. I see it all the time. I had a woman come up to me and say, I'm dying to divorce my husband, but I'm waiting for a sign. Said the fact you want to divorce him's the sign. Don't wait until you drive by Divorce Your Husband Avenue. And even when you do, you'll go, that's probably not it. And then you'll keep going. It could say, Stephanie Johnson, divorce your husband. And you'd be like, that's probably a weird coincidence, but that's not it. And then he comes home and goes, duh. And you go, that's a sign I should stay. So that's a thing. Your feeling is also a sign. Now, check this out. I'm just curious, out of this audience, before service today, who here has closed their eyes and sat with their feelings today for an hour at least? Raise your hand if before service you spent an hour meditating or connecting. Okay, so interesting. 2, 3 people. Ooh, 3. Who here did it for an hour a day for the last week? Raise your hand if you've done it an hour a day. This confused me the last service too, because more people raised their hand on this one, which I'm not getting how that could happen, because this morning is included in all week. Here's the thing. When we do that, we're actually doing the work. And there's a real thing here, a real legitimate thing that can change every aspect of your life and the world. But it's an actual action and a proactive decision on your part to actually do it. Now, we're here, and that's awesome. Many people don't even come to service and actually connect to themselves. So be excited that you are in that group of people that have somehow accessed something in your body that says there's more to life than just what I've been taught. If you're here, you're in your body. There's some people that are horrified of anything that's about spiritual because they haven't accessed that part of them. And if you have that, that means you're at least in the cocoon. And you're in your body, and there's something in you that says there's more to life. Now, what butterflies love to do as a last-ditch addiction is to hang out with caterpillars and tell caterpillars that they should fly. And caterpillars go, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have wings. That's you talking to you. If you're here, you're already in this place where you're someone who leaps, you show up, you want permission to connect to yourself. Now check this out. How much do you think you would lose weight if you were overweight and you went to the gym once every Sunday? And what if almost the entire time at the gym, they spent 58 minutes out of the hour explaining to you what an elliptical machine is? But you're not getting on it. They're just explaining it. And you go there and you sing about ellipticals. And you're like, by the grace of elliptical machine, I love my this little elliptical machine of mine. Those things are absolutely necessary and needed, and coming here is necessary. The same way you every once in a while need to go to a gym and have the trainer go, let me just adjust your stance here. Let me make sure that you're okay. Let me make sure that you hear some new information that you can't see. It is vital that you come here, and you got to do the work, because don't use coming here as the excuse to not actually step into what you are. This is big. Since I was here in the last 2 years, I've spent pretty much every day spending 2 hours a day waking up and not doing anything until I listen to my thoughts. And at least an hour the first in the morning, and then sometimes an hour later. And this is what I do. Now, most of us, and my old habit was, we wake up, and some of us don't even sit up. We just grab the phone. It's almost like we're uncomfortable that we're comfortable. Like I feel okay, so that's not okay. Like I feel good right now. So we grab our phone. We didn't even plug it in. It's on the pillow right here, right? And I'm going to go on Facebook. And Facebook immediately puts you into an amazing state of lack. You go right there and you start asking questions like, why is my brother friends with my ex? And you feel terrible about the party you didn't know about last night. And you're going, why does that comment on that person's, what do they mean by that? They're talking about me. And then you start feeling crap, right? So, and sometimes, thank you, both of you, sometimes we go, I don't go on Facebook. There's some people that go, I don't go on Facebook. I don't go on Facebook. I go on the news. Oh, that's much better. The news is phenomenal. Where you hop on and they just find selective, horrifying, bad stories all day for you. Then they give you social anxiety and sell you pills during the commercial breaks for social anxiety. They'll be like, there was another robbery at the 7-Eleven right next to your house. More after this. When I have social anxiety and I'm scared to go outside or to any convenience store, I use Practive, whatever. And they're so happy in those commercials. The person's picking through flowers. These commercials for pills, they're rock climbing and sailboarding. I'm sitting there going, man, I wish I had herpes. Like, you get to do so much fun stuff when you have herpes. And then I got it, and it's nothing like that at all. It's not that way. It's nothing like that. So, instead, is this my goblet? Okay. Bring me my jester. So, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You may leave. Back to Kauai.
So the world... why? Wait. So done with it? This is just fake? Like this is a... Wait. It's not... Yeah, okay. So this feels so weird. This is just dead weight right now. But we're going to all adapt that this isn't happening. There's nothing on my face. When he was here, he could have didn't take it. Just, you have 2 mics now. So when I wake up, now this is where everything changed. When I wake up, I sit up and I just watch the show, right? Watch the show of the story. This is crazy. You'll sit there And for the first minute, all these thoughts come up. I'll set my alarm for 2 hours later sometimes, and I'll put it on airplane mode, right? And so no one can interrupt me, and I just sit there, and I listen to my thoughts go crazy. So the first thought will be like, how long am I doing this? 2 hours? Like, 2 hours? Who's talking? Who just said that? Then another me comes in and fixes the thing that it said. Another me shows up and goes, well, at least if we do 20 minutes, that's enough. Wait, who said that? Who's the first one and who's the second one? Guess what? They're the same person. Ego loves to sabotage things so it has something to overcome. Ego loves to find a problem so that it can fix the problem that it created. I can't tell you how many times I'd be about to walk on stage and my mind will come up with something. What if you throw up on the stage? Have you ever had anything like that? You're going on a date. What if they see your thing in the face? And what if they, what if they know the thing? What if I don't know any? What if I blank out at the job interview? You've had that, right? Then you come up with some strategy to fix the arbitrary thought that you had in the first place. So you'd be like, okay, I know what I'll do. I'll show them. Wait, who's motivated to fix the thing that it created in the first place? What if you just go, what if you throw up on the stage? Awesome. I love that. What if they don't like you? Cool. That'll teach me to love myself instead, right? And so these thoughts show up, and often the thoughts that are fixing the first thoughts are the same thought. So sometimes you'll be fixing something and creating more of a problem just by fixing it. Just by going up to someone and fixing something that you thought they didn't like about you, and you're realizing now you're creating it to test if that's what it is, to see if they run away, and now they actually don't like you. But you were fine before that. So I sit up and I hear all these thoughts. Now, I ask people about meditation, and they ask me all these how questions. They go, how long do I do it? Do I hold my hands like this? Do I say Om? Do I have to wear beads? What if my name isn't Rainbow Maca Sunshine? Like, there's so many things. I shave my armpits. Is that cool? Like, everyone. Yeah, it's fine. But what if you just sit there? What if you just sit for an hour? Oh, the first half an hour is the breakup. The first half an hour is your breakup with ego. So if you go 10 minutes, you're still in the middle of a breakup. When people go, I meditate for 20 minutes, that's cool and it's much better than nothing. But I've discovered that after a half an hour, it's pain. It's falling off. The old story, who I am is what people think of me. I am my accomplishments. You'll feel the accomplishments fall off because you're something even farther than that. You'll feel that, your judgment of yourself is falling off. And you're judging it falling, so you're trying to keep it on. And then you realize who's judging the judgment, and then you're the space looking at all of it. And then you'll feel tension, freedom. It'll be instant. People think it takes the same amount of time to get out of ego that it does to get in it. Well, I'm 50. I know it is another 50. No, it's right now because it's what you are, right? So all these things show up. So the first half an hour is like a breakup. And I just sit there and I feel it break up with itself. Then the next 15 minutes, I notice I'm just coasting. Nothing's going on. It's a little quieter. Sometimes some stuff lingers. But for 30 minutes to 45 minutes, I just feel some space. I just feel love. Then 45 minutes to an hour, some guided thing shows up, and it tells me a next step. And because I'm now more this moment, because my old past story just fell off, I just take an action on it. Now, these guided ideas show up all the time, but if you think you're your past story, you're going to sabotage the guided idea because you think it's death to who you were. So if you think who you are is someone who makes $20,000 a year and someone offers you $1 million, that's death to the old story of who you think you are. So you will sabotage that. If you don't connect with yourself and love yourself for real, and someone who actually comes and loves you truly with no agenda shows up, that will horrify you. You'll sabotage it and go back to the crappy relationship that matches the relationship that you have with yourself. Right? Oh, thank you. I didn't know I got an applause break for that. Thank you. And another, I've heard inks. Is this? I'm like, what? And I was like, no A. And she's like, S. And I was like, ah. That was me. I was just kidding. That was me. I just felt like making the sound crew wonder if the mic was out more, because I wanted to see Hawaiian shirt. So if you think who you are is, I am this addiction, then stopping it or loving it would be death to who you are. If you think who I am is this victim story, then you are more than that is death to who you are. If you think who I am is this small past thing, who I am is overweight, who I am whatever, then any solution is death to who you are. So you actually go out of your way to sabotage it, because you're under the illusion that you are this passing problem versus the infinite space of just right now. And you do that by loving whatever you're feeling right now. Love whatever you're feeling right now. I don't get this. Cool. Because there's a belief under it that you should get it here. If you can get it here, it's way too small. Anything that you can see from here is so small. I know people talk about vision boards and doing that and envisioning all the things you want, and that's really great. But remember, you're envisioning from what you think you are right now. And what you think you are includes a lot of lack, a lot of doubt, a lot of lies, a lot of stories. So the biggest you can envision is from right here. So what if instead you just start the process of loving what you're feeling right now? And then notice the people that you saw this weekend that might have been amazing for you or might have triggered you, and let them show up in your body and be a space of love for them too. Because they're that way, because they don't know any better, they're doing the very best they can, you can be a space of love for them. Because you're connected to you. And then you stop needing love outside of you. Sometimes I get caught up in this lie. The belief is the biggest thing that everyone wants is to be understood, and that's true. But I didn't realize that you can actually be the space of understanding for yourself and not create a codependence on other people outside of you understanding you. Through meditation, through connection, through patience, through being, through not living on the news and on advertising. Remember, they need you in lack to sell you things you don't need. They need you to think you're not enough to get you to buy things that you think will make you something, because you're already under the big lie that you're not complete as is. So that's the only way that Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Pepsi would do anything. Just even Budweiser just says, just flip the top and bikini women will surround you. That's what they say. Naked women will be there, and you're like in your cubicle. Okay, I'll just that is all it took. A 50-cent can of beer is it? That's the commercials. They tell you that you're not enough so you can become something. And with their product. You know what you're doing for the world by doing this connection? By not handing that to those corporations that are throwing plastic in the oceans? By not handing that to people that are giving you cavities that you're just using to numb that you're in your head, which you're only in your head because you're not connected to your heart? These are addictions that get you in the moment because you're under the illusion that you're not the moment, that you're the past or the future. But remember, you're the space that the past and the future are showing up in, and you're just judging it, which makes you run from it, which makes you run from yourself and what you think is everyone else. So you're just this space right here. You're just this moment. And I want to do a quick exercise with you on this one. I want you to think of the scariest thought that you usually have. Think of something that you think a lot. What if I'm not enough? What if they don't like me? What's something you're used to thinking? It's almost like home, even though it's totally chaos. It's familiar. It's home to you to think of something negative almost. Think of it when I just say you're infinite, how your mind immediately goes, yeah, but, right? Yeah, but what do I do later? I got to do something later. Your ego's trying to stay alive. Or it goes, easy for you to say, right? It's okay. That's what it says. Some of you, maybe that's easy for you. I have kids, whatever. I have kids too. Kid, I think. I think there's not more. My point is this. When you hear those thoughts, just be a space of love for them. And for the first time, you can be the space of love for the kid that you were that couldn't get the love from your parents the way that you thought you needed it. That's all that's going on. That little voice goes, what if? Because it thinks it can't think that. Because when you're a kid, your parents doing the best that they could were teaching you go achieve, or you have a ton of belief systems in that little character, right? And you're just this space right now. So I want you to think of the common scared thought you have and get back into that place that you're used to, and we're going to take care of it one last time. Think of that thought. And notice, I want to ask you specifically physically where you feel that thought. Someone go ahead and raise their hand. Where do you feel that negative thought? Awesome. I'm seeing neck. I see the back of your head. Awesome. Yes. You're feeling, okay. And when you say stomach, do you mean contracted, expanded? Contracted. Excellent. Yes, sir. Contracted. Beautiful. Anyone else? Yeah? Hi. What's your name? How old are you? Thank you for being here. You're 10. I love you for being here. Do you realize we're all trying to figure out how to be you right now? How awesome you get to have a life where you know this young. Congratulations. So, yeah, we're all figuring it out in our 40s and stuff. So where do you feel it, Abby? In your stomach? Excellent. And what does it feel like in your stomach? It feels like tension and what? And pressure. Excellent. Okay, that's awesome. It's not awesome, but it is for right now. Now check this out. I want you to feel it. Feel that place that you're so used to feeling. Now, I want you to pay attention to the thing that's beating your heart. Something is beating your heart. It's not asking for anything in return. We're feeding it crappy food. We're handing it stress. We're drinking. We're doing all this stuff. It's not asking for anything in return. And it is not involved in the dynamics of politics, stress, complaining. It doesn't get involved. Right? Can you feel that? It just keeps beating. It can't. It can't care what people think about it. It doesn't know about any of that. It just is beating. I want you to tell it. We're going to take a couple minutes here and get on the elliptical machine for 2 more minutes. And just tell the thing beating your heart that scary thing. And I want you to take a second and listen to the thing beating your heart and hear what it says back. Go ahead and tell it. What are you feeling? And listen to it. Actually have a conversation with it. Keep going, and if you hear a thought like, I can't do it or I'm not doing this right, tell that to the heart. Whatever stuck thing you're feeling, tell that to the heart. Any block you feel, tell that to the heart, because it's only in your head and your old nervous system story that you feel that block. Tell that to the heart. I don't think I'm doing this right. I'm stuck. I think I'm going to cry. Tell that to the heart. This loves you. It's always fine. And notice how every second is exponentially bigger and you feel more of a change every second. Notice how much faster it's moving now. In fact, let's go another 20 seconds or so, 30 seconds, because it might be 10 times more than now even. While you're connected to it, throw in another thing. I'm scared of stage fright. I'm scared of what people think about me. I'm scared I'm not enough. I'm scared to leap. I'm scared I'm out of money. I'm scared that I'm not loved by someone. I'm scared that I'm incomplete. Tell it that for a couple seconds. Notice right now how you feel both connection and freedom at the same time. Most of us feel one or the other usually. And then we chase the opposite one. You'll feel connection in a relationship when you're in your head, but you don't feel freedom. So you get single, and then you feel freedom, but you don't feel connection to anyone. When you're in your heart, you feel both. It doesn't matter what you do on the outside. What happens on the outside will match what's happening on the inside. Notice as you're in your heart right now, how if someone came to you in their head, it might not trigger you the same way. You might actually have a compassion for them and help them access their heart. You might actually be able to free people from this place. And remember that it took you like 3 minutes to get here. The length of a crappy song at the gym is what it took to get here. So what did your heart say? I'm seeing a lot of tears being wiped, which is really, it's weird to say, but it's really awesome to me. because crying is just the same release as laughing. You're letting go of the old story. And most of us are scared to cry because we live in a world that taught us that feeling sad is not okay. And that when you're sad, you need to get on a pill, you need to be addicted, you need to distract yourself, go to TGI Fridays and have a happy hour. Sad is the goodbye of that limitation. Sad is the release of what you aren't anymore to make room for what you really are. This is like going to the bathroom. Imagine if you never went to the bathroom, how scary the first time going to the bathroom would be. If you thought who you were was the poop, you would be scared to let go of it. You would hold on to your old story and your emotional limitation. But you're the butt. You're the space that the old story is leaving from. And right now you're moving into the space by connecting to your heart, because it's just the space that the old story of the person who didn't get enough love, or the old addict, or the anxiety-ridden person can leave from. Because you cannot have those things when you're connected to your heart, which is a choice. And it's a practice. And if you heard this and you connected for 3 minutes and felt something, remember it's the same as going to the gym for 3 minutes and then measuring how much weight you lost. You feel something, you feel energized on 3 minutes on the treadmill, but imagine what months of it would be. Imagine of having an intention to make you first. People go, how do you have time to meditate 2 hours a day? And I go, I don't know how you have time to not. People say to me, I'll wake up and I'll think, I got to call this person, I got to call this person. Oh, man. And then I meditate for 2 hours and I go, I totally don't have to call any of those people. Because many of the things that I was going to do were what my old story thought that it needed to do to get love or to fix something or to stay alive. But when you connect to your heart, you don't do what you think you should do to make other people happy, and you connect to what you are, and you only do that. And then that actually changes the world because you embody permission. You embody truth. And I'm so excited about the idea of a group of people like this group right here actually deciding to not leave here and just go back to what you call the real world. That's not the real world. This thing that you're feeling in your body is the real world. This is the permanent thing. People go, what happens when you get back in the real world? No, that's just the world you're choosing to focus on to keep your old limitation alive so that you don't die, when the truth is that story totally needs to die. Through your acceptance of it, through your love. So what comes up for you right now? And tell your heart. Let's get in the habit of it. Yeah, but tell your heart. Because that yeah, but is your past story talking. It only has evidence from its past. Yeah, but not for me. That's your past talking. The only evidence you have of that is your past. When you understand and embody and become this moment, then you, me, Obama, Oprah, Trump, a homeless person, are all the same thing. Infinite possibility. And our job, the only thing I'm doing is just sitting and hearing my heart for a couple hours a day. And then all the parts of me, not always, many of the parts of me that are triggerable go away. And sometimes I get caught in it. And then I got to go to my heart. Sometimes this weekend has been tough in a lot of different ways. A lot of traveling with the baby for the first time. I know that I'm in a place where I can't wait to go sit with my heart a little more. And I'll tell you, just by being with you and you giving me permission to speak this way, you're helping me free myself. And I'm being with you. I'm just connecting with you and having a conversation with you. I'm not a speaker or don't believe that I'm in any higher power. We are all even. And I am dying to live in a world of co-leaders, not a bunch of followers. I'm dying for that. Because from embodying this, I have proven to myself how much I'm capable of, and I just sit here sometimes to get caught in my addiction of wanting you to know that. And I have to move like an apple tree. An apple tree isn't going, how many people want apples? What if people don't like apples? I think I'm more like a pear tree. Aren't there already apple trees out there? That's how much crappier would an apple tree be at making apples if every second it was measuring, wait, will I get anything for these apples? How many views will my apples get? Or how many will I sell? It's not here to do that. The more you connect, you'll just start making apples. And the right following or the right co-leaders or the right friends, the right soulmate will match you at the apple tree level, not you at the victim. Are you with me? So my hope and my offer, and I have to remind myself that I release myself from what you do with it. You decide how valuable my talk was today based on what you do with it later. If this is just a free talk, then enjoy it, have some laughs, feel good, let your mind feel good, and go back to that same story of limitation. Go back on CNN, complain about Trump, or go back on Fox and complain about Hillary. Go back to finding something to be against so that you can stay in your small story and stay in those addictions and keep the people that enable you in your smallness. Or you can leave and decide to go home and mark on a calendar how many days you're going to commit to without having any idea what the results are going to be. You're going to commit to connecting to your heart the way you just did for 3 minutes for a certain amount of time a day. The longer you do it, and I don't mean go all day, still live in the world, but live from here. That's the only way we're going to shift. And the world is in a place of chaos right now so that people learn this, because it has proven itself over and over and over that there's only one way out of this, through here. And the people that are moving here are the ones that become the Martin Luther Kings, the Oprahs, the Gandhis of the world. And it's available in every human. Yes. And so I'm asking you today, who here is actually not just going to hear this as a content-based talk to feel good, and is actually going to go on the elliptical machine for a long time, at least 30 days? Raise your hand if you're going to commit to doing it. Wow, really? How about 60 days? Oh my God, I don't want to be awful. 90 days. Anyone going 90 days? Raise your hand if you want to go. By the way, you can change your mind. You don't have to stay on your stubborn, no, 30 days only. I don't know. Here's the thing. We would shift this planet instantly. Because anything that Martin Luther King did, Gandhi did, Oprah did, anyone can do. So this room is about, 400 or 500 people? What would happen if 10% of this audience did it for 90 days? What would happen if 50 Martin Luther Kings showed up at the same time? What would happen? Now, a lot of you are going, yeah, that's not going to happen though. It's up to you to go, I'm going to do it though. Yes. Despite what you think the room's going to do, it's up to you if you go, I'm going to do it too. Yes. Because I have a daughter now, and I have a fiance, and I have a team, and I have a world of people that I love very, very much. And I want to shift this planet because they're in it. And if you have been using, yeah, but I can't, because I have a kid, you're doing it backwards. Your kid is the reason you have to. The person you're with is the reason you have to. Every yeah, but that you come with is not the reason you can't. It's the reason you have to. Yeah, I'd love to go away for a week and just live in my heart, but I have a kid. Right, live in your heart to prove to them they can do it too. I'd love to just go write a book, but I don't have any money. Right, write the book so you have some money. I'd love to just go to Italy, but I don't know why, and I don't know anything about Italy, and I don't know what'll happen to me. Right, go, because you'll figure out why and what's going on in Italy and why you're there. Because you'll prove to yourself that you're that next level that listens to your body and not your old story. And every time you feel a calling without knowing the how, if you do it, everything in your life will shift. 2 years ago, I was doing talks for my Evolving Out Loud events in a 150-seat theater. And it was hard to fill it. And then I had this calling me that said, do a bigger one. Do a 2,000-seat theater. And it was easier to fill because I was more excited about it, and I stepped into a higher place, and we sold it out faster than the small one. Thank you, both of you. And now, we're about to do the Dolby Theater, which is where the Oscars are held. It's 3,400 seats. And here's how I got there. By feeling myself freak out in one area, and my body goes, I want to do that, and my yeah but shows up over here. I want to go do this thing. Yeah, but I don't have enough money. All right, which one do I want to live in? My body or my head? That's how it works. When you say yes to this, the fear leaves. You'll figure it out. When you say yes to the fear, the opportunity leaves. And you become more in fear. So my dare to you, and I'm going to be doing a workshop today that you guys, you don't have a choice, you're coming to. I've decided. We're going to do a ton of stuff that is elliptical-based work that I promise you, if you come at 1 o'clock today, life will not be the same after it. And I will be working with you individually, as a group, and we're going to be doing actual exercises and treadmill work to actually ingrain this in our body, not just have it be an excited idea in our head that we bring to our body. So I want to tell you that I've been feeling really connected to you because you've given me permission to connect to me during this talk. I will never forget this talk, and I'm very honored to be with you. And it's just crazy to think that the way the moment is right now, it'll never be the same, exactly like this again. And when you're realizing that, how funny and silly and small and ridiculous our problems are. And I just want to tell you that I used to say thank you to audiences as a habit, as a way out. But I'm actually feeling a real gratitude that I'm in a world with people that want to do the work, that are willing to look at their darkness and love it. And I'm just thankful for you. I don't have a specific way out. I just love you guys. I do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Come be with me at the workshop and let's work more. I love you guys. Thank you so much. We got this. Love you guys. Thank you.
Wow, what a message. Well, to follow that up, please bring back and let's welcome Amy Steinberg. Isn't he amazing?
I wrote him a rap based on his talk that I'll sing at the end of this song. I wrote your rap, the first one, but I wrote you another one, this one, because I was a different talk. Okay, good. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Scrapes, burns, twists and turns, you might call me damaged. Nicks, cuts, dips and ruts, I've been bruised and bandaged. Every dark night leads to a new morning light, and all of my scars have turned me into a piece of art. Each fear, every loss and tear, all the hard goodbyes, lows, hits, all the dirt, all the grit, all of it has made me wise. Every dark night leads to a new morning light, and all of my sorrow gives me hope for a better tomorrow. It's when I'm falling, I feel so high, and when I'm crawling, that I want to reach out for the sky. And when I'm lonely, I can hold on to the truth that it's when I'm broken open, that's when the light comes through. So when the light comes through, ins, outs, screams and shouts, life is complicated. This is my wild ride, hell no, I wouldn't trade it. But every love that's gone leads me to another love song, and all of my sorrow gives me hope for a better tomorrow. It's when I'm falling, I feel so high, and when I'm crawling, that I want to reach out for the sky. And when I'm lonely, I can hold on to the truth that is when I'm broken open, that's when is when I'm crying. that I can be my friend. And when I'm dying, I can be born again. And when I'm hurting, love is my medicine. Yes, it's when I'm broken open. That's when the Spirit comes in. Trying to get or sell or prepare. He's just in the moment. He's with us right here, right here. Your light depends on the darkness you allow. And happiness is happening right here inside this now. A trigger is an opportunity for you to love you. Be in a deeper love with the whole holy truth. Broken expectations break away to you. Deep down to the 5-bedroom mansion that we can move into. A place where there is peace if we listen carefully. Write the book, quit the job, fly to Italy. If you're here, you're already in the cocoon, so you're ready to be the butterfly you already know. The elliptical of the mystical is when you sit still, not the news that makes anxiety then sells you happy pills. The thoughts talk when you sit quiet for a time. You don't need to armpit hair to be named Maka Sunshine. It's just so much. You just told me so much, and I needed to rhyme it back to you. Okay, hold on. Just a little bit more. Love it all. Love everything that you're feeling. Drop the judgment. Become a space for healing. The essence of your heartbeat loves you, all of you. You are the butt. You are not the poo. I mean, that's deep. That's deep. All right, here we go. This is the last line. It's not as good as that one. The sadness is the letting go of the old story where infinite possibility. Let's get free. Namaste. When I'm hurting, love is my medicine. Yes, it's when I'm broken open. That's when.
Service or what? I did, right? Amy, that just lit the roof off this place. Thank you so much. What an incredible way to follow.